Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Healer's Journey. Tonight, we bring you your inner magician. And thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm Rosemary Levesque, and I am the author of Heal Together, Natural Health Solutions for Animals and Their Humans. I'm a certified vibrational sound master teacher using tuning forks. I'm also Reiki master, shaman, and licensed spiritual healer. The best way to reach me, if you have any questions, maybe you want to jot this down now. My website is Second Nature Healing. You can email me, rosemary@secondnaturehealing.com, and my phone number is on my website. You can give me a call if you have any questions. Well, let's get started. I have here a picture of a new deck of cards that I purchased recently. I had a little bit of fun. Hay House was having a sale, and I bought, oh gosh, I don't know, 7 decks of cards, just whatever was fun and appealing to me. And this deck was the Energy Oracle card deck, a 53-card deck and guidebook by Sandra Ann Taylor. So I'll be reading from that tonight. And just the other day, when I was meditating with these cards, I held them, I shuffled them thoroughly, because you know how new decks are, all the cards are kind of stuck together. And the card that I chose was the Magician. I'm going to show that to you in a moment. But after meditating with the card and looking it over and feeling into it a little bit, it felt to me like it was an important message for everybody to hear. And I, of course, believe that there are no accidents, there are no coincidences. So I bring you tonight your inner magician. So what is a magician? If you look up the word magician, you'll find that a magician is a person with magical powers and perhaps even a skill in a particular area. The other word I wanted to bring up is alchemist. What is an alchemist? Al, from many roots of the word, especially in Arabic, means transform. And chemi and alchemy, chemi is the fluid, and of course the root of the word chemistry, and we know chemistry is a science of exact measurements and mixing liquids and solids and having reactions and results. But before chemistry, there was alchemy. And an alchemist is a person who creates or transforms something through a seemingly magical process. And this transformation is for the better. It's an improvement. The alchemists in the stories wanted to change lead into gold, but that's really not what alchemy was all about. It was so much more than that. It was spiritual. It was metaphysical as well as physical. So we enjoy alchemy today in our conversation about being a magician and discovering your inner magician. So what is it that you want to create? And what do you want to transform? And I'm assuming that you do want to create something, and you do want to transform something, because we're not stagnant. We're alive. We're active. We think. We move. We do things every day. And so many of us are driven to create and transform because of something that is off, something that is negative, or something that needs improvement in our lives. So I ask, what is it that you want to create? What do you want to transform? Do you want better health? Do you want relationship harmony? Peace? Peace on earth? World peace? Do you want more money? Do you want money enough for survival, or money enough that you can be a generous philanthropist and do whatever you want, have freedom? Do you want circumstances of your particular situation to change? In other words, do you have hardship of any kind or a diagnosis of any kind that you want to change in the situation? Do you feel like you're stuck in the past, or perhaps have a very questionable future? Is there something about your past or your future that you would like to transform? These and many, many more are possible with your inner magician. So the elements involved in transformation or creation would be, of course, the element of time. In our linear time world, we see time as a way of transforming or healing the past and creating the future. Now that's actually very limited. If we look at the element of time as being our only thing we can rely on, because we all know that we have a limited amount of time. If we think of time as being linear, the time we spend on something, once we spend it, it's gone, right? Or the time it will take to heal. Some people heal very quickly, some take longer to heal, and some people never feel like they heal and might even die, and they relate it to time. Well, what if you look at the element of no time? If you look at the element of no time, if in other words, if you take linear time out of the equation, we can surpass the element of time to work exclusively with vibration, emotions, memories, and intentions. In fact, we'd be going into the Akashic records. We'd be going into our ancestral DNA. We'd be going into things that doctors don't usually talk about, and maybe a lot of us don't talk about or think about. When we take out the element of time, there is no limit. So we can surpass time and work exclusively with these vibrations. And here's where the magic happens. Now, there are also shamanic or spiritual elements. The directions, for example, east, south, west, north, above and below and inside. The elements of air, fire, water, earth, ether, within. Power animals and guides and other tools that we have. Crystals, the crystal nation, plants, the tree nation, for example. Sound, as with what I use with tuning forks, and your voice as sound as well, plus the sound of the water, the sound of the wind, the sound of the animals, and many, many more tools. Now here's the card I drew. This is the Magician. Isn't that a beautiful card? It is the last card in the deck of the Energy Oracle cards. The Magician and the Mirror. Let me read a little bit to you from this. Here's the first part. Knowing and using your true power. This card represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. In the Magician's left hand is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand is a vortex of water and the light of reflection. Now I will continue to read from the guidebook. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the Magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together, they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror stands beside the magician, reflecting the outer world's response to your choice to use or dismiss the true power that you have. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist on the horizon, ready to be magically transformed. When you receive the magician upright, in other words, when you draw the card from the deck and it's facing this way, the way you would read it, you are put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. This is true in every area of your life. Claim your power and embrace your intentions in your heart and in your daily life. Direct your destiny, and the mists of the future will clear into brilliant reality. Wow. So you are the alchemist. Now, as the alchemist, what is it that you want to transform or create? Now, I asked that before, but I'm asking it again. What do you want to transform or create? And what is your magic? What is your power? For the magician here in this card, you can see that the power is in the tools held in the hands. But that's only where the tools are coming from. The tools are coming from, if you can look closely at the picture here, there's an infinity sign above the crown of the magician. Let's look at some of the details here. The infinite, who is that? Who is the infinite? And what is our connection with the infinite? Might that be the divine? And if you look at the lattice work, below on the left side of the picture, so under the magician's watery palm, the lattice work has hearts and diamonds, and these hearts can reflect more about who we are and the stability and how the heart fits with the spiral and how the heart fits with the diamond and how the heart fits with the animals. You see a bit of an animal's tail in the lattice work behind the magician. So all of the power, all of the elements are there. The stability of the columns reaching up to the sky, the plant medicine coming down in the twigs of the tree. At the moment, in the season where there are no leaves on the tree. So we find within this one picture all of the elements. We see above and below. We see the elements of fire and water, the element of the divine, the element of plant medicine and animal medicine, the spiral that is even partially obscured on the floor in which the magician stands. So I ask you, what do you want to transform or create? And what is your magic, your power? For this magician, you can see all of the elements right out there in front. Now, what about you? Well, how do you begin with something like this? How do you begin? And when do you begin to access your inner magician? We'll start with an assessment. What is your soul contract? Now that just kind of rolled off my tongue, right? What is your soul contract? You might not even know what your soul contract is. And gee, do you have a soul contract? Of course you do. And how are you fulfilling that? This is not something that is easily answered and may not even be completely revealed to us at this time. But we need to start somewhere. So we're going to start with an assessment. And you can begin by using your journal and writing down what you believe your soul contract begins to include. And how are you fulfilling that? If you are in a relationship, that is probably part of your soul contract, to be in a relationship with that person. And you can look at that relationship, just for example, in how that is serving your contract or that person's contract. The second part would be reflection. As the mirror exists in this picture here, the reflection is, how do you see yourself? And how do others see you? When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, what do you say about yourself? Do you say, I'm beautiful, or I'm fat, or I'm, some of those descriptive words about yourself? Do you see that you have inner beauty as well? Do you see yourself as your whole self, not just a nitpicking part of yourself? And how is it that others see you? Do they see you for who you really are? Do they even know who you are? If they were to walk by you in a store, or see you standing in line, do they know who you are? So reflecting on some of these ideas is a great place to begin your assessment and your reflection. Now, what have you committed to, and what have you accepted? Have you committed to a particular line of work? Have you committed to having a family? Have you committed to volunteering with your community? Have you committed to a relationship, or a task, or a talent? And what have you denied or not accepted? There are some people who have been told, oh, it feels great when you put your hands on my shoulders. It feels like you have a lot of energy and heat in your hands. You must be a healer. And yet, those people might just be not accepting that. Perhaps they are not understanding their full capacity and their full power. Are they denying a part of themselves if they are not moving more fully in the direction of accepting not only their talents, but becoming more of who they really are, in whatever role that looks like? So again, I ask, what have you committed to and accepted, and what have you denied or not accepted? Let's talk about the mirror for a moment, the element of the mirror. The mirror is like the veil of illusion. When you look in the mirror, you might see something, and somebody else might see something completely different, and you're looking at the same thing. Wouldn't that be interesting? And what do you believe to be true? When you look in that magical mirror, what is it that you believe to be true? Are you believing something somebody has told you? Are you believing something that you learned? Or are you looking through that and believing what is actually true? Are you resistant to stepping forward on your path? And if you are resistant, what is stopping you? Because the mirror not only reflects to you, the mirror in this card represents the future that isn't yet formed, because it's waiting for you to make your choices. We live on a free will planet, and so in making your choices, you help form your future. And I want to read to you again from the book, if the card were presented upside down. So let's just imagine that it is upside down for a moment. The Magician and the Mirror reversed is warning you that you may be missing a great opportunity. The time is right, but you're not taking advantage of the creative energy of this cycle. You do have the power to transform things for yourself, to create something new, whether a home, business, family, or life direction. You may be resistant to or even disbelieving of the limited power you possess, but it's time to wake up. The misinformation and perceived limitations that linger from the past can no longer sustain you. Your life is the mirror that reflects your inner energy, yet you have the ability to change what you see. You must fully open up to the complete truth of your eternal wisdom, talents, and abilities, and take the risk of believing in yourself. Now is the time to dig deep. Find the confidence and courage within to make the most of this opportune cycle. You have all the resources you need, and the unlimited force of the universe is at your disposal. It's waiting for you to recognize and ignite the phenomenal powers that are eternally yours. Remember when we started, we said, what if we take out the element of time? What if time weren't an issue? What if time weren't even anything that needed to be brought up at all? What if we could just access everything we needed, that there was no time? We can access the vibration, the memory, the feeling, the emotions, the circumstances. We can access them. How? We can access them with the power of our mind. We can access them through meditation, through our own healing wisdom. And you can see and you can feel the changes that will happen when you eliminate the time and incorporate the elements that we talked about, the shamanic elements, the spiritual elements, the directions, the fire, the water, the directions of above and below and within. All of these are tools that are waiting for you as the healer on the healer's journey. So we conclude with an affirmation. I have all the power I need to create the destiny I desire. Magic happens when I live in consciousness and my eternal truth. That's very powerful. And that is you. I chose this card for you because you are the magician and the mirror. You get to create, you get to transform, you get to choose, you get to channel the energy of spirit and claim your power and claim your medicine as a healer on the healer's journey. So what's your next step? You can always call me, of course. We can do private sessions. You can come take a class, a Reiki class, try my sensory intuition workshops, or a vibrational sound healing class. Take a look at my calendar. They're all there for you. And if you don't see something you're interested in, please give me a call and we'll talk about your own personal alchemy. Where will your path lead you? What's in your mirror? What form is that taking? And if you haven't thought about that, maybe now is the time to take out your journal and write down who you are and where you're going. Begin to crystallize that path so you can move toward it and access the emotions, access the tools, the plant medicine and wisdom of your guides and power animals. I would love to hear from you. Just give me a call or email me, rosemary@secondnaturehealing.com. The Healer's Journey webinar is something you can receive directly in your inbox. Just go to secondnaturehealing.com/webinar and make sure you enter your information. You'll receive all of the Healer's Journey webinars as they happen. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.